Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u software demonstration Zoom call for September 22nd, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. You can scroll down, look for the Zoom graphic, and click right here to go right into the Zoom call. During the Zoom call, Cathy will have her daily energy clearing group in the software so you can watch and see what she does so you know how to use your software. If you're interested in this software or you want to demonstrate the software, you can come right down here and then contact Cathy for the information. To complement the SRC4u software, we have the shift pin. More information, just click right through here. Cathy writes blog posts, she writes fractal fairy tales, and we post them on Twitter. The information's right here. I'm going to continue on to the Zoom call. It will be live, so you may want to lower the volume on your speakers. One moment, please.
Welcome, and I understand that today is the solstice. And Karen, you sent me a little text about that. Can you educate us a bit on exactly what that means? I don't know if she can get on or not. So anyway, while we're waiting, hopefully she can. We did complete, finally, these sessions go for days and days with the power of this software, and then I just add things as we go along. So I went ahead and got us ready a little ahead of time today. We're including our water, our internet routers. Get over here. And our jewelry. And then our primary situation. I am magnificent. I am an expression of creative love. I am creation on all levels of consciousness. I am a reflection of each one I meet this day. Now remember, this is going to our etheric field. This is imprinting our etheric field. So it's very powerful work, much more than anything that could go to the physical body. Now, I went ahead and did our scan earlier as to what we want with our prosperity scan. We're going to be releasing blockages. We make it a little bigger here. Okay, whenever you have time, Karen, and I'll quietly add these things.
Great. I was just typing a little note to our group. It's just the fall equinox, it's just an indicator of the changing of seasons. And it tends to happen just a little bit before the new moon, which will be on Sunday. And
hold that thought, Karen. I just want to show everybody before I start dowsing in that we do want a thyroid cocktail again today. But okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead now.
No problem. It's just a change of seasons. It's nice to know that it should be getting a little cooler before too long. And we have a lot of changes this fall that are really big. Some incredible power in especially the full moon that's coming up in October. So we all should do our own research and be aware because we've got the beginning of some financial issues that perhaps all of us can gather together with our groupthink and possibly diffuse some of the things that may be coming down, our way.
Yes, thank you. Now we're taking a charge actually to release blockages, and that covers the spectrum. But this also in the full moon, that is a time if anyone wants to light a candle and clear anything in particular. One of the things would be to light a candle to release blockages or clear blockages. So we want an actual extra burst of energy to our field. And as much as I would like to go in and just always do 5 minutes, it turned out sometimes that's too much. So I'm getting to where it just takes a couple extra minutes, if that, to test and see. Okay, so we're going to give it 2. Like dropping a pebble in a pond, it's going to keep. Now, instant manifestation does not sound like a bad idea. And, in the quantum world, there is no time, they say. So let's see again how we resonate as a group. Okay, we're going to take that all the way up to the top. Now, you see here, we're asking for a couple of things in the field generator, and I did get that set up to get started. This is kind of funny. I think I mentioned someone left me, or they left another friend who then gave to me a bunch of workbooks. This man had taken so many workshops over the years and read so many books, and she was ready to pitch all of it, and I said, no, let me have it. And there was a little story on this talisman that I tested, and it seemed like it was high resonance to have the image, and we're asking for that, and we often ask for it. We're also asking for invert prosperity consciousness today as a field. We're going to take 45 minutes to set that field up. This is an interesting healing prayer of command that we ask for. Remember, all these things in our scans, they're tested ahead of time for priority to make sure that's what we want. Some of this can't see. So there we go. By universal laws, there we are asking again for miracles, and miracles is actually going to, in a sense, be our focus next week with a little more detail in it as soon as we get this in. Yeah, that's a little stress, so it doesn't hurt to do a little research on the universal laws, which are really our only true laws. And of course, you'll see different versions that we do as a group want some reinforcement on that. Charge. Here's our miracles. Release the spiritual forces within. I can't remember how far down. 10, okay. A little stress there again as well. When you get 90 or 99, you know that's more of a chronic thing, more of a long term. Although all of this is also so subtle, we're catching our energy just as it flows. Taking a lot of charges today. We'll come back to that one. Mental health, and that's, if you're reading the blog at all, that is when we do the screencasts, etc., we continue to show most of our stress with our mental body. And that can throw everything off. Any manifestation we're trying to make, any help we're trying to give others, if any of these bodies are off, it's going to mess up the information you can pull in. And the last post, I went into a little bit more detail on the fact this is all proven. We're not talking New Age, superstition, religion. We're talking laboratory experiences that we are surrounded by a field of potentiality. And as far as we know, it's infinite, because they have not yet found an end. And so there's something, obviously, especially in these days, it seems, with the chaos we see around us, we might have to get a hold of that and get into some control. I'm going to show you a couple things in a minute. Okay, so we did lots of charges today. So I'm taking some real bursts of energy. And you're going to see in a minute, this is very interesting and quite appropriate for what we're going to talk about. Okay, let's just give it one. We're just dropping a pebble in a pond, throwing our field a little bit more energy. Now here's the healthy finances image.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
Talking about what you were just talking about, do you think the elemental scanner would be a benefit in that?
Always. The elemental scanner is phenomenal. And you can even put your affirmations in. You can put a lot of positive things in. Absolutely. Yeah. Just I go in and usually test them. The Pro Tool selector is good too, but I typically test them one at a time. So, for example, you see healthy finances. Now, we can't really do an image in the elemental scanner, but you can test, for example, let's just do no, we don't want that, but you see if that were a 70 or higher, and then you could even see the acupoints that could be cleared with acupressure or whatever way you want to do it. Help it. Now here again, research, and that probably is our key, that many of us are only researching what we think is already right. So we don't look at the opposite. Let's just see if we need that code, because again, it came at the high spectrum. Nope, we don't need that. So our polarity looks pretty good at this moment in time. But I want to share a few ideas with you. First of all, quickly, here are the stressors in reference to our perception. Remember how they say this works. And again, they have the laboratory experiments to demonstrate what's happening in our field. And so the way it works at this level of scientific discovery is that we actually aren't getting any thoughts internally. Our thoughts are coming to us from signals outside the brain. That's what activates all of our sensory organs. And you think of your 5 senses, but actually every part of our body is a sensory receptor. And that activates our thoughts, which then, depending on our own programming, etc., we skew into our reality, not always a reality we consciously wish for. So again, our scan, now we talked about this before. I don't know why these two come together, but they did. I'll fix that. But end corporate control of the politicians in America. I've gotten to where I have one rule. If they went in rich, that's one thing. But if they went in a normal income person and now they're majorly rich, I'd like to know where that comes from, because it sure doesn't come from the salary. Again, I tested all this for priority. Some of you may not care for it, but it's in here. Dismantle the worldwide criminal mafia. the corpus callosum. I can't remember what that does now. If anybody has their computer handy to double check. Shield alternative media from all censorship. Dumbed down by technology. We want to clear that in the super clear. And that, I don't know, just a quick example. Years ago, anytime I had an important phone number, I memorized it. I sure don't know any now. They're all in my phone. So what else? We'll just leave that there for a while to see if we want anything. Awaken. Neuroplasticity, the idea we can change anything. And that's another thing the quantum has demonstrated. It used to be with the old science, it's just the way we were. You couldn't change it, but that's not true. Uninstall knowledge control. Now, don't be offended. End compliant idiocy. In other words, do we question anything or do we just do it? Deprogram self-perpetuated. Can't remember now. How far down we went again? All right, yeah, we got two more. Deprogram self-perpetuated illusion. Recognize spiritual power. This is an interesting one. Permanence, perseverance, and persistence in spite of all obstacles, discouragements, and impossibilities. And heal from addiction. And the addiction, for the most part, is our addiction to the reality we're now experiencing. So with that, some thoughts, and I didn't realize till I got a text this morning that this is also the solstice. Some thoughts. First of all, we were going to go into working on the thyroid because, believe it or not, the thyroid and the stress-related, probably that and other glands, is a big factor in our overall prosperity. And you saw this is the cocktail we asked for last week. But let's see, this is what we've already got loaded in the SRC. Let's just see if we have a preference for one of those. And you just go in to your find options. You're looking for anything under 1,000. So we want the remedy for thyroid detoxification, the Bible verse for thyroid protection. We're wanting the cancer thyroid. Now again, we're talking subtle, so let's prevent anything we can prevent. This is not the body. Got a lot of these remedy cocktails in here. They're pretty good, actually. I think you have those. I am going to catch up with Kevin over the next 5 days before our next, or 4 days before our next Zoom. And I've got a few more cocktails for him.
Did you still want to know about the brain? The course?
I'm sorry?
About the course?
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
I can't say it right. It's in the brain, and it's towards the back, and it helps our right side of our brain connect with the left and back and forth. So,
oh, yes. Oh, thank you.
It controls like our sensory functions, our motor functions, our thinking in general.
I'd say that's a pretty important one.
Yep.
Let's just look at that for the heck of it, since we said where to go. There it is. Let's just see how we look with that, and if we need any later today. I'm trying to keep these calls just short enough that we can get what we need done, but later some of these will go in Pro Tools, etc. Just see where we are right now. I could use a little amping up at this moment in time. Thank you, Deborah. Now, this is something, I'm going to send this out. This is this YouTube right here. And if you're led to listen to it, and especially now that I realize today's the solstice, or solstice, however you say it, but this guy talks about a little prayer that you can say, takes you just maybe 30 seconds to say it. And what you're going to do, you say this prayer, you add your request, and then you're going to get a picture and hold it. I've got the instructions in here, but you do want to listen to the YouTube. And then also I added, we've got some chaotic things happening in this country. And I'm sure they're disturbing to some of you. I know they're disturbing to me. The most, what really set me off is the 18-year-old mowed down by that guy. And that's, all of this is very hard to swallow. And you look at this stuff and you think, what's wrong? What's wrong? So I just want to mention Neville Goddard. That's an old visionary as far as the information. It's still profound and life-changing. And if any of you are so inclined, it probably wouldn't hurt to listen to a little Neville Goddard while you do some of your other work. Very encouraging. And then also I found this. This seems to be a very powerful image, and it's for angelic protection. And what you can do, let's just see if we as a group want that image today. And that's what I like to do for everything, is just test for priority, or, is it a positive? No, we don't need it. Good. But if you do, for example, just quickly give you an example. Somebody call out something troubling in the country. Think of any situation. Just give me one example. Anybody?
Attacks, integrity.
All right. Or how about, let's just do angelic protection for COVID-19 jab recipients. And then you're going to see if you have permission. Do you have permission to send that out? Yeah, we do. So if you choose, you can go ahead and pull up. You've got 10 of these windows. Go ahead and pull it up and put that image in. And I can't see a thing in the world wrong with angelic protection. But now what we're going to move into next, I found this interesting book on Scribed, and it'll probably take me till Monday to pull it together. But again, this is where we are. We're in thoughts. And this is how you can work with thoughts on a conscious level, because most of our thoughts are unconscious, to balance insulin, cortisol, thyroid, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And could our behavior be off because these things are way out of balance? Any thoughts on that?
Definitely they could be off.
Yep.
Any one of those things off from our whole wacko.
So I'm kind of excited about that book. It's a long book, and that's why, oh no. But it is on Scribed if any of you have Scribed. And remember, this is all about our power. And these things are laid out for us to work with and do. And that's one of the things that's so encouraging about listening to Neville. And when you start really seeing, I had a call this morning from a woman that she's a regular SRC session recipient. She actually resonates very highly with someday having her own SRC, but she is upset over every little thing that happens. And, you walk the line, you don't want to offend people. But I told her that today because she's like, why don't these things work for me? They work for everybody else. Well, her thoughts are in control, and we do have some conscious control of our thoughts if we choose to. We have to make the effort. The liver, fire element, there's our thyroid, so that is a definite focus next week. Remember, all settled. Now there's the kidney meridians, and seems to be a benefit. Pull up some information. Nope, we don't need it. That fractured soul is very interesting, and it comes up nearly every time my own interpretation of this is we've lost our ability to create with our imagination, which they say is the soul. Hey, we're pulling it down, though. We're pulling that stress level down. That's the other thing, as you know, this takes repeats, not just once in a while. Here's the stress. Now, we have an interesting nutritional cocktail, which we seldom seem to want. Let's just see if we want it today. Actually, the nutrients cocktail. Nope, we don't need it. That's good. There's the torso, which is very often a culprit. Okay, yeah, we'll take a cocktail on that. Stop for a moment. Let's see if we want any deeper scan. Nope. We are talking quite a bit about our nutrition, though, so I want to do a little reevaluation. The stomach meridian came up, so let's take a look there. Oh, so I'm P4 will manage the stress. Look at stress related to the immune system. Okay, so we want to definitely keep our immune system up. There's that thyroid again. I think we're going to look at that again. So we're definitely focused on that. Remember, these bladder meridians have a ton of information for us. Just making sure we don't need any more than just what's in here. No? Good. I'm going to quickly, because we're almost out of time. We got 2 minutes. You see, we're going to take a lot of levels today. See what we've got here. This is just overall. Look at that, passive aggression. So we've got some things to think about on that. You know the term. Words to ponder. God gives us time so that everything wouldn't happen all at once. As we just mentioned, there is no time in the in quantum, unhappy, mental brain fatigue, desirable, urge to inspire others. Look at our ego there, and look at the resistance factor, psychic attack. So work with that in the prayer warrior as well. Now let's see, on top of all that, since we stopped, nope, don't need any more themes right now. We got plenty for today. And then quickly, in reference to our immunity, look at that. So it'll be quite a bit of pro tool work on our immunity in the next few days. And y'all have a wonderful weekend.
Blessings to all.
This concludes the SRC4u software demonstration Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.